This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning and thank you for waking up with us here on this Saturday. I'm Galen Etland. The time now is 6 o'clock, and this morning restaurants are back to outdoor dining only as many Oregon counties shift back to extreme risk restrictions. We're going to look at the new lifeline, though, an Oregon lawmaker is touting that could help this time around. Plus, a state representative now faces charges over a breach at Oregon's Capitol back in December. But first, our Chris McGinnis joins us live at home with the forecast. Good morning, Chris. How's it going?
Good morning, Galen. Off to a nice start on this Saturday, May 1st. Let's take you live out to Oregon's Veterans Home in the Dalles. Our camera in the Dalles pointed down towards the Dalles Dam. You can see the water spilling over the Columbia. Not a lot of water out there in that rain that we saw yesterday, right? Just a few sprinkles, a few 1/100ths of an inch of rain at PDX, making April the driest April on record, not only in Portland, but in Eugene. So that continues to be a story here. While we are still continuing to see some showers in portions of Marion, Clackamas, and Lynn County, the remnants of that front that pushed through the metro area overnight is continuing to push south and east. So the farther north and west you are, the better chance you have of seeing sunshine already this morning. Here's a live look from Newport. You can see the cloud cover breaking up just a little bit there. Right now we are 50 at PDX, 48 in Hillsboro, Beaverton checking in with 46. And the big picture across the state, nobody terribly cold on this Saturday, May 1st. We're waking up to 51 degrees in Baker City. All right, Galen, the plan for today calls for a fair amount of cloud cover early on, but we should start to poke some holes in that with daytime highs getting into the mid-60s. And the sunset tonight, 8:18. Days are getting longer, and we've got some sunshine back in the forecast tomorrow. More on that coming up in just a bit.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. See you in a few minutes.
I can't even imagine what's happening in the small business owners' minds right now without any way of projecting what to do in the future.
Oregonians are working to help local businesses through another difficult stretch here. Last night, we found people dining outside in Oregon City as a return to extreme risk took effect in 15 counties around the state. That includes Clackamas and Multnomah counties. Now, for those counties that are back in extreme risk, outdoor dining is now the only option. At Mangiare Italian Restaurant in Independence, manager Crystal Law is grateful for their outdoor patio space. It's now the only place there where people can dine at the restaurant for at least the next week. Polk County is one of 15 Oregon counties Governor Kate Brown pushed back to the extreme risk category, meaning no more indoor dining.
It's very difficult for us, and it's difficult for our customers. Friday night's traditionally our busiest night. So this will kind of give us a good judge on how the next, hopefully 10 days, maybe 3 weeks, hopefully not another 3 months, will go.
On Friday, Congressman Earl Blumenauer pointed to another way that restaurants may be able to get some help here. He said owners need to register now to apply for federal grant money starting Monday. Blumenauer started work on the $28.6 billion restaurant relief grant program a year ago. He says it's the first in the first 5 hours, they were able to get to more than 80,000 people registered.
It's imperative that every single person register first, apply Monday at 9, because there's no guarantee that there's going to be money that's going to be available later in the week.
Now, local movie theaters are also struggling with these tighter restrictions. Those in extreme risk counties can only have 6 customers inside. Lonnie Jolie has had a hard time making sense of how the state came up with the capacity numbers. She owns the Clinton Street Theater in Portland. Lee questions why it's safe for other indoor events like churches to have larger gatherings. She has had to make changes to the ventilation system, scrub surfaces, and enforce mask requirements to keep everyone safe.
You know, we've been preparing for this whole year to try to open up and be here for the community, and to be only open for a month and then to get shut down again was really devastating.
Now, she dipped into her personal retirement plan to help keep her employees paid. Now she has a fundraising campaign on the theater's website to keep doors open. Now, on a side note, for some context, the Clinton holds the record for the longest run of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It has been playing every week for 43 years, and they've kept it going. One employee was so dedicated to that tradition, he came in the middle of the snowstorm during the pandemic to play to an empty house. Governor Kate Brown is defending her decision, meanwhile, to move those 15 counties back to extreme risk restriction levels. She believes it's necessary to save lives. She says Oregon leads the nation for the rate of increase in new cases over the last 2 weeks. She hopes this temporary measure changes that. Modeling from OHSU shows in 3 to 4 weeks, the virus will lose its ability to spread because so many people will be vaccinated. Until then, researchers say more restrictions will help save about 176 lives and keep 700 people out of the hospital. We asked the governor why she couldn't allow businesses to stay open but require customers be vaccinated. She says it's an issue of equal vaccine access.
I think what I would say is that our vaccine distribution efforts, while fairly effective and efficient, have not been as equitable as I would like. And we are working hard to close the vaccine gaps that exist amongst our communities of color.
The counties now in extreme risk will stay there until at least next Thursday. In Washington, the state is using phases instead of risk levels to guide reopening. And on Monday, state leaders will decide if any of those phases need to be rolled back, since cases are also rising there. Now, based on this map, that could happen in a lot of counties. Red indicates areas with too many cases right now to stay in the current phase. That includes both Clark and Skamania counties. Back in Oregon, Gresham is dealing with a growing problem. It has had double the number of shootings so far this year compared to 2020. Our Morgan Romero spoke with people trying to stop the violence.
Right now, what we're seeing is murder.
Our kids are killing our kids. Every time I go to a funeral, I'm seeing the same faces.
Senseless shootings put a community at risk.
It's only a matter of time before an innocent bystander is hit, and then everybody gonna be mad.
Young lives lost, like 22-year-old Alejandro Barajas, shot and killed Sunday night.
For us who have been in this work, this is a scary season because something has to be done.
Local pastors and activists are in touch with young people living in a world of escalating violence.
Over the years, the narrative has been that this is your life. You will end up in jail, you kill or be killed, and you don't have any hope.
Growth and gentrification push more crime into East County. Many of the shootings are connected, gang-related, and retaliatory.
It's like a revenge fest.
The number of shootings in Gresham has doubled compared to this time last year.
Like everybody in the metro area, our resources are stretched thin.
Gresham's interim police chief says police are especially challenged when they happen one after another. Like this week, when 7 people were injured in a drive-by shooting during a vigil for Barajas the night after he was killed.
We only have so many officers that we can put in a problem.
Law enforcement is part of the equation, but they alone can't stop shootings. The community can take on gun violence prevention.
And I'm mad at the community because we're not holding each other accountable.
A lot of that's going to start with having conversations with our kids.
We have to build relationships with those who are living in this world.
To save lives, they believe it takes community organizations supporting at-risk kids.
If we can interrupt one generation, right? That's so powerful.
It's what they consider the pretty work.
We need to point out that there's hope, that there's opportunity.
And the gritty work, immediate intervention.
And it's dangerous. We need to be on the ground floor. We need to be engaging these guys, meeting them where they're at.
Activists say credible messengers with lived experience can get through to shooters and victims. Messengers like Irving, a former gang member.
I got a doctor's degree, you know what I mean? PhD in lived experience.
Be violence interrupters and get in between those that are shooting people and those who they want to shoot.
His organization, Love is Stronger, Inc., applies for grants, yet he says applications go nowhere.
You need somebody with a criminal record to talk to other people with criminal records.
Morgan Romero reporting for us there. Now, Gresham Mayor Travis Stovall says historically community organizations have not been adequately funded, and the city plans to spend about $200,000 on violence prevention efforts over the next year. We've got an update here now. The Oregon State Representative accused of letting far-right demonstrators into the state capitol in Salem now faces criminal charges. Court records show Mike Neerman there is charged with first-degree official misconduct and second-degree criminal trespass. Both are misdemeanors. Now, back in December, you can see he was caught on camera opening the door to those demonstrators who then rushed into the building during a special session. Neerman has been under investigation ever since and has faced calls to resign. He's due in court on May 11th. Now, they are favorite summer activities for a lot of people. So when will outdoor concerts make their comeback? Edgefield just booked its first new show for the season when it's betting on a return to normal. Coming up.